ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Manual of Life, Bgml course. So before we proceed ahead, I would like to ask what we discussed yesterday. So one by one you can answer, recall. So soul is past. Asta Mataji is replying. So Asta, you can unmute and speak whatever you can say, what we discussed yesterday. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about the existence of soul and proof regarding the existence of soul. So we discussed 4 aspects regarding this: common sense logic, reincarnation, and yes, NDE, near death experience, OBE, out of body experience, reincarnation researches, and consciousness. Shivangi Nayak Mataji very rightly. So common sense means common sense logic, which Asta told. When somebody dies, we say he has passed away, but body is actually lying there. So who has passed? The soul has passed away. Similarly, consciousness, we discussed regarding consciousness that we can experience. We have the thinking, feeling, willing experience of some incidents, which whatever input we take from eyes, ears, nose, so we generate some experiences, feelings, but machines cannot generate. Although machines can also take the input, just like camera, we discussed the example of camera taking the photos and videos. It is also taking the input, but there is no generation of experiences and feelings. And also we discussed nowadays they have made this humanoid robot. Humanoid means Sophia humanoid they made, the female humanoid. So she can talk, she can conversate with people, but she cannot experience any feelings. So that is why when she was asked, so do you love somebody? She could not. She simply said, I am a machine. So I cannot love because I have no feelings. That she could say because they have made this using artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence gives the answer. And a robot dies, the robot doesn't die. Only human being or those entities who have living symptoms, this consciousness, only they can die. Although the body may be there, but because of the presence of consciousness, when consciousness is not present, so we say that the person has gone, and the person is dead. So consciousness is actually a symptom of soul, not the symptom of body. This is the proof of existence of soul, because everyone knows that consciousness is there. Even in the trees, consciousness is there. What to speak of other living entities? So this is second aspect. And third is near-death experience and out-of-body experiences. So there are many medical researches cases where the patient have been they have been observed that they experience this kind of incidents, out-of-body experience, near-death experience. And reincarnation researches have been done. Especially we discussed about Ian Stevenson. She did this research over 300 cases. You can just imagine one person in his 30 years of life, he collected 3,000 cases, 3,000 cases. So we took 2 cases out of these 3,000 cases. If somebody is interested, they can refer to Google. They will get more cases. So we discussed this case of Sukla and one this American fighter pilot, and we understood how this girl Sukla named this age 5 years, so she could remember everything of her previous life, her husband, mother-in-law, father-in-law, and her village, everything she could remember. So this proves that reincarnation. So reincarnation is another proof that the soul exists. So reincarnation researches, there are famous scientists who believe in reincarnation because we all believe in the statements of scientists. So that's why you can see. This is Benjamin Franklin. He says, finding myself to exist in the world, I believe I shall in some shape or other always exist. So Benjamin Franklin says, I believe that I will always in existence. John Adams, he says, those souls who revolt against God were placed here to transmigrate through various species of animals, birds, reptiles, etc. And the famous philosopher Socrates, he was fully confident. I am confident that there truly is such a thing as living again, and the living spring from the dead. So Socrates, because of this philosophy, he was put into the jail, and he was threatened to give. He was actually given poison, but he was not at all fearful. He said, "You cannot kill me because you can't find me. You don't know. You cannot catch me, so you cannot kill me." He was fully confident. He said that you can only destroy my body, but I will again take birth again. So you cannot kill. So these are few great personalities, materially great personalities. So we discussed till now is whether we are matter or spirit, and then second aspect we discuss scientific proofs for the existence of spirit soul. Now the third thing is difference between living person and robot, which almost more than 50% I have already explained. So we'll quickly go through this, and then we'll discuss the most important mechanism of mind. This mechanism of mind, this fourth aspect, will let you know or will let you understand how this soul transmigrates from one body to another. We discussed scientific proof of existence of spirit soul, and there is reincarnation. We discussed this, but how this reincarnation happens, there must be some mechanism. There must be some laws, because anything, whatever happens in this material world, there must be laws governing each and every phenomena we see, and whatever is happening in this world. Raining, it's raining. There is scientific law. Cycle is there, and we see sky is blue. There is scientific law is there. A refraction, law of refraction. Similarly, each and everything is governed by some laws. So this transmigration, the soul transmigrates from one body to another body. It has also got some mechanism. What is that mechanism? That is actually mechanism of mind. This is very beautifully explained in Bhagavad Gita. So just in this session, we'll very briefly discuss about this mechanism of mind, which makes a soul transmigrate from one body to another. But when we will actually start Bhagavad Gita, so during this course, we'll in great detail we'll discuss about this. And then finally, the fifth aspect of this session will be practical benefits of knowledge of soul in everyday life. What is the practical benefit? That we'll discuss. Maybe tomorrow we'll discuss practical benefits of knowledge of soul. Today we'll discuss difference between living person and robot, and mechanism of mind due to which a soul transmigrates from one body to another body. So what is the difference between living person and robot? You can see. So robot, they also have got all kinds of senses. They can sense, they can give output also, input, output, everything is there. But still there is a great difference between a man, a person, and a robot. So is man not just a powerful computer or robot? Sometimes there are people that think like this, that this human body is also just like a very powerful computer, a very powerful machine. But no, it's not just a very complicated or powerful machine, because as I have already explained, the living persons, they can have experiences. They can feel sadness, happiness, while robots cannot feel sadness or happiness. This is the main difference. And this difference is because of the consciousness. This difference is because of consciousness. Presence of consciousness in a living person and absence of consciousness in robot. And this consciousness is not the symptom of chemical combination. This consciousness is not generated from these chemicals. What is the proof? Because as soon as the soul leaves the body, immediately the consciousness is finished. So this proves that consciousness is a symptom of soul. So the presence of consciousness in living persons proves that we are not this body, we are soul. This proves that the soul is there. Soul is there. This can be very easily proven with the presence of consciousness. Because as soon as the body dies, so although all the instruments and senses are there, you can even give the input, but still there will be no feelings. So there is one difference: drama recorded by a camera and drama observed by judges. So every one of you know the difference. What will be the difference? Although this camera may record entire drama, but during entire episode, the camera will not laugh, the camera will not shed tears, the camera will not experience wonder, nothing. But the judges who also see the drama with their camera eyes, but they can have the experience. So this is the difference between robot and, so these are different feelings. So robot cannot experience, but eyes of judges can experience. So this argument that is man not just a powerful computer or robot is not correct. So lens in the camera, no experience, no emotions, no consciousness, whereas eyes of the judges, living person has experience, elation, sorrow, anger, and consciousness. And no judging, unable to judge. So this is the main difference between a man and robot. So once when Srila Prabhupada was preaching in the West, a person, he asked Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, I think our body is just a complex machine that gets worn out and crashes. Why should we bother about some soul powering the body? He asked this question like this. And the same argument that I think this body is just like a complicated machine, that's all. No soul, nothing else. Just like we see the machine or vehicle, it also gets worn out and it has crashes and ultimately it gets destroyed. Similarly, this body is also like a complicated machine. Over the period of time, this body becomes old, deteriorates, and finally it gets destroyed. So why should we bother so much about soul, which we cannot see? So what Srila Prabhupada answered, very logical, very interesting. Just read it, you will understand. Srila Prabhupada says very interestingly, does your car or computer grow? No, of course we don't. No, car and computer doesn't grow. So do you have a male and female car that can unite and produce a baby car? No. A living body undergoes 6 changes, whereas matter just depreciates. So it is the soul that makes living body alive. So this is the difference. So although this human body can also be considered like a machine, not considered, actually this human body is a machine. But this human body is having a living soul. That is why it is different from material machines or vehicles. What is the difference? This living body undergoes 6 changes, whereas material bodies, which doesn't have soul, only undergoes 2 changes. It is produced, and over the period of time, it gets depreciated and destroyed. That's all. This is the only change happens with the material bodies, which does not have soul. Vehicle, machines, everything. Whereas human body, which has the soul, undergoes 6 changes. And what are those 6 changes? This will be covered. The human body, or any body, not just human body, any living body has these 6 changes. It takes birth, it grows, it maintains, it produces byproducts, it depreciates, and finally it dies. So there are 3 major differences between a living body and a robot. Till now we discussed about this. A living body undergoes 6 changes while matter only dwindles. This is one difference. A male and female living body can multiply similar species. Machines cannot reproduce by union. This is second difference. And living body has consciousness, thinking, feeling, willing, while matter has no consciousness. So this is the difference. This difference is always there. And this proves that this living body has something else, something other than just chemical compositions, which makes the difference between living body and dead body. I hope you are able to understand. So now the first difference, that every living body undergoes 6 changes. So these are the 6 changes I already explained: birth, growth, maintenance, production of byproducts, dwindling, and finally death. So these 6 changes are only experienced by those material bodies which has a soul within it. That means living body. And those material bodies like mobile phone, machine, laptop, cars, it is also a machine, vehicle, but it does not experience these 6 changes, only experiences birth, or we say creation, not birth, creation, and then finally dwindling, destruction. It only goes toward destruction. There is no growth and there is no maintenance by self. One has to maintain, do something. And there is no reproduction. There's nothing like this. So this is the main difference. This proves that our body, this human body, is not just a complicated machine. It is certainly very, very different from a complicated machine. So this is the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita I just explained. So now understanding the difference between living body and complicated machine, material body. Now we go through. So now till now we have proved very logically, scientifically, with reasonings, that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul. That soul exists. We have till now this, we have proved this. So now we will try to understand the mechanism of transmigration. How does this soul transfers from one body to another body? So this the mediator is actually mind. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha moksham. So mind is a part of subtle body. So mind acts like the via medium between gross body, this body made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, and between soul. So mind is like a mediator, bridge. Mind takes the soul from one body to another body. Or the mentality, the condition of mind actually decides which kind of body the soul is going to get after this present death. Just like if you are going from one road to another road, so the bridge decides which road you are going to get another. So if the bridge is connecting you to third road, then you will end up into third road. If bridge connects you to fifth road, you will end up into fifth road. Simply mind is like a bridge. That is the mechanism of mind, or more precisely we can say the condition of mind or mentality, which in general simple terms we know mentality, which depends upon consciousness. So mentality or the condition or situation of mind decides what kind of body we are going to get. So this the soul is covered by gross and subtle coverings. So we have 2 kinds of bodies. First, we will have to understand that we have 2 kinds of body. This gross body, which we see. Gross body means which we can see or experience through our eyes, ears, nose. And this is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. This is known as gross body. Earth, water, fire, air, ether are the constituents of gross body. And inside this gross body is also another material body, a subtle body, which is also dead actually. This is also matter. This is very beautifully explained in Bhagavad Gita in one verse. Whatever we are discussing here, Krishna explains this in one verse. Bhumirapanalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankariti yamme vinna prakriti rashtadha. This prakriti means material elements. There are 8 material elements. What are those? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. Out of these 8, these 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, which constitutes this gross body, which we can see, is actually gross body, and it is also dull. And the subtle body, Sukshma Sarir, is mind, intelligence, ego, made up of mind and ego. And inside these two kinds of body lives the soul, which is actually life, living force, we can say. And soul's constituents is Sat Chita Ananda, Sachidananda, or eternity, knowledge, and bliss. And the consciousness is emanated from soul, and it penetrates mind, intelligence, and this gross body as well. It is just like in the room, you have a bulb at one corner of the room, and as soon as you switch on the light, so bulb emanates light, and because of the light emanating from the bulb, entire room is illuminated. So you can experience the presence of bulb in the room by observing the light. Similarly, the presence of the soul can be experienced through the presence of consciousness. The soul is situated at one part of the body, which is known as heart, at the region of heart. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ishwaraha sarva bhutanam hridesya arjuna tishtati. Krishna is also present as Paramatma within the region of heart, and as well as the soul, Atma, is also present within the region of heart. So the soul, while being present at the region of heart, one place, it is emanating its light in the form of consciousness all over the body, from tip of the toe to tip of hair, not in the hair, but till the head. So the consciousness is there. That's why as soon as I touch any part of my body, I pinch, we can experience. How? Because the consciousness is there. Material scientists, medical researchers, they say that there are a kind of electric signals, not this electric signal, but they say through neurons there is electrical signals are generated, which goes to the nervous system, and from there it is sent to brain, and then there is some manipulation, and the decision is taken, and then output is given. So they say like this. But actually, what is this electrical signal? Neuron, okay, neuron is there. We see nerves are there. Nervous system is there at the back, neck. So this neuron is there. Nervous system is there. It is like wire. But what is electricity actually? Just like if you have wire connected to bulb, or you switch on, but still there will be no light, because if it is not connected to the electrical source, so there will be no light, even though the wire is there and the switch is also on. Similarly, even though the nerves are there, but if the soul, the source of this electrical signal known as consciousness, if it is not there, the soul is not present within the body. So in spite of having all the nerves in working condition, still we cannot actually experience consciousness. If a dead body is lying there, you pinch him, he will not experience. You cut his hand, he will not experience. Although the nerves are there, nervous system is there, everything is there. But because soul is not there, so electrical signal, consciousness is not there. So this everybody can understand. Even a small boy can understand this logic reasons. So the soul is very important. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 17th verse, second number chapter, Vinasam abhyasya na kashit kartum arhati. Avinasi tu tad vidhi, jena sarvam idam tatam. Vinasam abhyasya na kashit kartum arhati. Avinasi tu tad vidhi, jena sarvam idam tatam. You should understand, Arjuna, that the consciousness which is emanating, which is symptom of the soul, is pervaded all over the body. Idam sarvam. Idam matlab this body, and sarvam. All over the body, the consciousness is present, and this is avinasi. It never gets destroyed when the body gets destroyed. So it is just transferred from one body to another body. And who carries this consciousness? Mind, soul. Soul, this consciousness is symptom of soul, and mind carries the soul from one body to another body. So this is the mechanism of mind. And intelligence is a decision maker. Intelligence decides. So here only we are just briefly touching these topics, but when we will actually start Bhagavad Gita, so in great detail we'll understand what are the functions of mind, what are the functions of intelligence, how intelligence can be used to control the functions of mind, which is very much required. All of you, especially all of you, are mostly youth students. So the greatest difficulty or challenge for youth is what? This is the greatest challenge. They are unable to control mind. Whatever, even though we know that we should not do this, this is not at all good. We should not think about distractive thoughts, but still mind goes there. So in order to control the function of mind, we require certain kind of knowledge, intelligence. So that we get from Bhagavad Gita. So that we'll discuss. So intelligence is decision maker. Mind is a storehouse of all kinds of thoughts, unfulfilled desires, and previous experiences. This is the mind's storehouse. And five senses, ear, eyes, nose, tongue, skin, they are the instruments used by mind. And decision maker is actually the driver which directs the mind. A mind uses instruments. So this example is explained in Bhagavad Gita, chariot of the body. The senses are like instruments, these five horses, and this mind, these reins are mind, and this driver, Sarthi, is intelligence, and the soul is actually this passenger. Or in modern context, we can understand that this body is like a vehicle, and headlight, horn, wheels are like senses, and this steering is like mind, and the driver who is driving the car is like intelligence, and the passenger is sitting behind. So if the intelligence is not proper, then the steering will not be under control, and then wheels will go any direction, and there will be accident, and the passenger will die. So this is our similar our situation in this material world with this material body, mind, and intelligence. So those Krishna, that's why Krishna says in 6th chapter Bhagavad Gita, those who cannot control mind with the proper intelligence, their life is in very dangerous situation. Anytime they can fall down in this material world, and anytime they may get destroyed, completely devastated. And we have so many experiences of so many times we have, especially I have experienced it in my college days. There were so youths who came from very nice background. They were very intelligent. They got good marks. They got selected into such a reputed college, IITs, NITs. It's not so easy thing. 15 lakhs students gave exam, and out of only 10,000 students got selected into IITs and NITs. So it's a very difficult task. So all those students who got into this IITs and NITs, that means they are cream layer of India, so intelligent, materially so intelligent. But because of not able to control their mind and senses, they landed into such great difficulty, distress, depression, and some of them they got failed in college. They didn't get degree. They didn't get any placement. They got habituated to all kinds of nonsense, drinking, smoking, and girlfriend, boyfriend, all these things. And in this way, all their this life got devastated actually. So a person, he may be very successful, he may be materially very intelligent. If he does not understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if he doesn't have proper spiritual intelligence by which he can control the mind, then his life is in a very precarious condition, very devastating. So that's why it's very much required. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bandhuratmanastasya yenatmaevatmana jita anatmanastu satrutve vartitatmaeva satruva. 6 chapters, 6 number verse. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So mind is so powerful. So, but if so powerful mind, if you can make friendship with this mind, then you become so strong. You will become so successful. But if you fail to make this mind your friend, then it's naturally by default it's your greatest enemy. So it can destroy you. So how many of you want to make your mind the best friend instead of enemy? Please raise your hand. How many of you want this? That the mind should become your friend, not the enemy. So those who want this, then what they should do? They should listen to the instructions of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, one who has conquered the mind, for them only mind becomes the greatest friend. Otherwise, it is greatest enemy. And how to conquer the mind? Krishna, that is what Bhagavad Gita is explaining to us, especially 6th chapter, 3rd chapter. So just keep continuing attending this course. This will greatly benefit you, and you will experience the control over mind. So nature of the mind in a chariot. To control mind, it will be your best friend. And if it is uncontrolled, it will be your greatest enemy. It will ruin everything. So that is why mind your mind, control your mind, and become a very successful person. So mind is compared to a knife. If knife is neither good nor bad, it depends. If the knife is in the surgeon's hand, who can properly control it, it can save life. But if it is in the hand of miscreant, uncontrolled, whose mind is uncontrolled completely, it can kill. It can devastate everything. So similarly, this mind is like this. So this Gigo principle is there. Whatever garbage in, this is computer science principle: garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. Similarly, mind functions like this. If you put good things like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's holy name, good instructions from Bhagavad Gita, so mind will gradually become purified and it will give good output. It will become your friend. And if you give garbage inside the mind, all this YouTube stuff, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, TV serials, movies, and whatever, especially for students and youth, prajalpa, gossip with friend circle, nonsense gossip. If you get entangled into these things, then what will happen? Garbage in, garbage out. That will only come out of them. So that is why we require to decide what should we give to mind input. So the input is very important. Whatever input you will give, that only you will become. Okay, so now time is just 4 minutes we have. So we'll stop here. Tomorrow also we'll continue this session and discuss more about mind. Okay, so if there are any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Yes, any questions? Please raise your hand. Vaishnavi Rajput. Raj, who controls our actions, intelligence or soul? This is a very nice question, and it requires in great detail. It requires explanation. I will just briefly tell. So actually, soul is actually a main person who decides action, but soul, only the presence of soul makes actions happen. But actually, all the actions are carried out by intelligence and mind, which are in control of modes of material nature, rajogun, satogun, tamogun. So gradually, all these things will be covered in Bhagavad Gita. So this is a good question. We'll discuss about it in more detail when we'll start Bhagavad Gita course. Okay. And another announcement is there. So our Bgml support team has designed very nice quizzes for you. So that you can go through it and you can evaluate yourself how much you are able to understand, and that will help us also to understand how much you are able to grasp the thing. So request is there. These quizzes will be posted in your WhatsApp group. So please do attend these quizzes. It will not take more than 5 minutes, even less than that, 2-3 minutes. You can just multiple choice questions. So you attend this and submit it. Okay. And what subtle gross body called in Hindi? Okay, subtle body is known as Sukshma Sarir, and gross body is known as Sthula Sarir. Sthul Sarir and Sukshma Sarir. It is called in Hindi. Okay. So thank you very much for kindly and patiently hearing this class. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.